I'm here today on Saturday, the 17th of October, with Jomana, who is the owner of the salon behind me, which, by the way, is right next to a dog salon. Just have to say that. But look, can you tell me, Jomana, about your experience from this morning to now?
Well, it's been very eventful, that's for sure. So we opened our doors today just a little bit after 8:30. There was already a line of people waiting to support
How many?
us. I think we had in the line we had at least 12 people waiting that were actually in line, and then we had people. There was at least another 15 people just standing here. I don't know if they were checking it out or they were spectators, but we have had so much support. We managed to do I think 6 clients' hair. Poor one client, she only managed to do half a blow wave. We had a hairdresser, amazing woman, just come and help us out, and another 2 actually hairdressers come and just want to help us. And then the police just obviously were here waiting for us, and then they came in, told us we need you to close, and we're like, okay, we ignore them, and they came back after half an hour, and then they issued me with a fine, and then they said you have half an hour to close.
And what if you didn't close? What was going to happen?
So if I didn't close, they said we can, once you get your prohibition notice from DHS, then we can, and you still choose to remain open, then you will be arrested.
Did DHS come?
Yes, so they came, they just left. They're COVID safe authorised officers came and asked me lots of questions about, do we have a COVID safe plan?
You have?
Which of course we have. And I just went through, I said, well, firstly, the hair industry standards of even just sanitation and hygiene is very, very high. So even without a COVID safe plan, we would actually be very safe. And I said, obviously, social distancing. I showed him how we'd set up the chairs, and we only had, we're allowed to have 6 people in the salon. You know, we did that. I said, look, there was a few times we had probably a bit more. I said, but that's because we had media coming in, we had police coming out. I said, I can't control that. And we said, people wearing masks. He goes, oh, did people have to wear masks? I said, well, if people have an exemption, it's not my role.
Yeah. You're not the police.
I'm not the police. And, and most people, and I said to him, most of our people that came in were wearing masks. So
Great. So what's going to happen? So you've gotten a $9,900 and something fine. What are you going to do with that?
Firstly, I have no idea where I've put it. I have to find it first.
That's not what everyone else says.
An awesome job of ruining our economy and our state. Yes, I agree with you there. You should just didn't finish her sentence. She didn't have time.
Let's not give her airtime. What are you going to do with the fine?
So I plan on, I'm going to frame it firstly. So after I frame it, I am going to obviously not pay the fine. I'm going to take the fine to court.
Okay. Does that scare you or worry you at all?
No, because obviously we have a court system so that cases can be heard. And by the time it actually is heard, I think that a lot of other higher cases, like things that are being put in the High Court, would have already been decided on. So I think it'll just render it in over a matter of months useless anyway.
So what are you going to do tomorrow?
Well, I've been advised by the police not to open, and I did ask them what would happen if I reopened. They said, well, they were very vague. I said, will we be issued another fine? They said, possibly. And I said, well, and will I possibly be arrested? And said, possibly. So, but I also understand that tomorrow, if I reopen and yet another, even 50 businesses reopen, then I'm not the only one standing. I'm not the only target. So it stretches their resources. And, this is not just about our business. This is about every single business.
Yeah. So I think because there was so much media attention here, and the bus is here as well, that I feel like, do you think that they had to make a show of their power by closing you down?
I believe that they did, but in all fairness to the Victoria Police, the officers that were present today were amazing, and I honestly believe, and on a human level, that they did not want to be doing this. I don't believe that they agreed. They were really compassionate and caring, and so I'm not going to hate on the Victoria Police. I think they're amazing. I know there's the bad eggs, and I know there's a lot of corruption and stuff going on, but these police officers were outstanding, and so I thank them honestly for what they did.
I second that. I mean, I've been interrogated a lot, but I still think that a lot of them you can see it in their eyes. They didn't really like it, and they have this weird look. You can just tell. What advice would you have to people who are considering, and of course I can't advocate for businesses to not follow the chosen directions, but I'm just reporting on it. what would you say to someone who's considering following your lead and opening up?
I would say we have power in numbers. If we all stand up and just open, then Dan Andrews has lost this excessive amount of power that he's had over us for so long. We went in to this as a 2-week lockdown, and here we are 7.5 months later, and we still have no light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, this is insane. I had a friend from Dubai message me yesterday saying, I don't understand. She's a Melburnian, and she lives over there. She said, I don't understand what's going on. She goes, here we have 1,500 cases, and yet everything is open. She goes, we obviously have to wear masks and social distance. She goes, but I don't. She goes, can you tell me what's going on in Victoria? I said, well, there's no logical explanation other than this is an agenda that's not about our safety. This is an agenda to basically crash our economy. It's being ridden, it's already off the train line, and you have to ask the question, well, if it's not about COVID, then what is the agenda? And I believe the agenda is to destroy small businesses so that, and create a socialist state, which makes us dependent on the government, which has already happened. And so for all those people that say, oh, you're ruining it for the rest of us, we're not ruining it. It's not us that are doing it. You can't blame us. We are all victims. Every single person in Victoria, doesn't matter who they are a victim of this government's policies.
Now, you have children, you have a family. How has this process been, being locked down for so long? Like, what was and I'm asking two questions, but what was the tipping point that made you decide to open up?
It's not just financial. I'm sorry.
No, just be yourself.
It's been really, really hard. My husband, we were kind of hoping that we were going to get, like last week, we were supposed to get some government assistance. Everything's been rejected, so we have no more avenues left to us. And then I had last straw was my parenting payment being cancelled. That was just a little bit of money that we could just get to, just to buy necessities, and now that's been taken. And I know Centrelink are trying to rectify, but they could be weeks away. And I just thought I don't want to put my hand out. I felt like my pride, I don't know if it's pride or just something inside me rose up and said, we have to do this. My husband's health has been deteriorating. And I know a lot of it's because the fact that we're closed down, and a lot of it for him is having kind of this trauma reopened because he lost his first salon during the war, and now we're in this other war, but it's invisible. And I just seeing him I was just like, I don't care. I'm going to fight for and also putting so much pressure on our marriage to the point where I felt like I was going to lose my marriage, and I don't want to break up my family over what being scared of a fine or what people were going to think. And I thought, I know every small business owner for the last 6 weeks we've had conversations. They're like, we want to open, but we're scared. And I thought, you know what, I've got nothing to lose. I'm just going to do it.
But why you? There's probably thousands of people that are feeling the pressure like you. Why do you think you were the person to do this? What's special about, you know what I'm trying to get at? Like, why you? Why you?
Since all of this has happened, I really believe, I'm a Christian, and Jesus taught us to be he is the light, to be a light in darkness, because he is the light of the world, and I believe that he dwells within me. And it says, if you have a light, you don't hide it under a bushel. You have to let that light shine. And I just thought, it's not even about me. Me doing this, it's not about me just standing up just for my family, but I thought, I have faith enough to believe that I can do this, because I'm not doing it in my own strength. I'm doing it, I'm leaning into my faith, and that I believe that the grace of God is carrying me. And I know that I have people that are praying for me, and I just feel like it's something inside me. It's been growing and growing and growing, and it's just like I've gotten to the breaking point where I just thought, I don't care anymore what people think. And I just thought, I understand that in this time, people sometimes they just want that one person just to shine that little bit of light. And I shone this little bit of light by choosing to stand up today, but the real light is all of those amazing people that have come and supported us. They are the real light. I just took that little small step, but it's all the steps of all those other people that matters. And all the people that came and brought gifts, and when you saw how many people dropped things, I mean, that's who we are. That's us at our best, and we just have to stop. And I'm sick of people being divided. Commentary on social media, and everyone's so for and against, and there's no tolerance, and I just couldn't stand it anymore. We need to stand up in a spirit of love and not be afraid, because fear and faith are actually both the same thing, and it takes exactly the same amount of energy to live in fear. Fear is believing something bad that hasn't happened yet it's going to happen, and having faith is believing something good that hasn't happened yet it's going to happen. And I choose to use that energy to have faith, and I believe that through faith and through what I've done today, what my husband and I have done today, that this is going to start something much bigger than us. This is not about us. This is about the Victorian people. We need to get out of this insanity. It's insane.
Well, what you've done today is unbelievably courageous, and I can see God in your soul through your eyes as well. So I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Do you have any last messages to the people? You can look down the camera lens.
I just want to say to every single person, thank you so much for your support. And I just want to say each and every one of you have the exact same power and ability to do what I've done. And when we take a stand, there is something so powerful in that. And it's like when we actually stand and be who we are and who God created us to be, He's given us so much power, and we have been lied to our whole life that we are powerless and that the government has all this power. They don't. They only have the power that we actually give to them. And it's time for us to take our God-given power back and just stand in the truth. But I ask you to do it not in a spirit of anger, not in a spirit of rebellion, but to do it as just an act of just, silent, like peace and love. Just do it in a spirit of peace, and you can do this. We can do this. Let's just grab and hold on to each other and stand up together, because, it only takes a small group of people to change the entire world. I'll use the example because I am a Christian of 12 disciples that changed the entire world, and that's why we have Christianity till this day. It happened 2,000 years ago. So don't tell me it's not even about having 100. It's even having 10, 12, 15. That's all we need. We can do this. And God is always on the side of justice, whether you believe in him or not. When you move in justice, because you know what? There's children out there that are suffering. There are people that are suffering. When we stand up for them, God blesses our work.
And amen to that. And the shop is going to be open tomorrow and every day after that. And you might have a whole wallpaper of fines by the end of it. How do you feel about that?
I don't really care about the fines.
Okay. All right. We're gonna chime out now. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you so much. And we'll be watching you.
Thank you.
All right.